What is the B-side? Before we get into this, let's just read some messages that we got from the Discord server, just so we can get a slight understanding, and so that way we can theorize. Let's get right into these messages. Gooblet says, "I want Armworm, please, and Ice Map." Brandon responded with, "Ice Map isn't for Bone Lab." Gooblet said, "Holy crap," and then Brandon pulled this out of nowhere. B-side. A little later, Brandon says, "B-side was never Bone Lab B-side, it was written to be Boneworks B-side. Project 4 forked into Bone Lab first because the tech isn't ready yet, and still isn't." Then Atlas says, "So there's a flip side to Boneworks in the same universe. This is awesome." Brandon responds with, "You technically see the B-side in Boneworks for a few seconds. It's the middle cutscene after the clock reset. So you're telling me, Brandon, that we've seen the B-side without knowing it? How about we go take a look at this cutscene?" So with this, what is the B-side? The B-side is a place between the real world and the virtual world. Or, as we can put it, the real world and the void. In the cutscene, we see Ford is passed out, like his mind has left his body. And we see that Ford's mind is separate from his body now. His mind is in the void, but also in the real world. The very cross between the void and the real world. The in-between, the B-side. Remember how Brandon said the B-side wasn't Bone Lab B-side, it was Boneworks B-side? And Project 4 split into Bone Lab and B-side. Let's theorize on this. B-side was the game that was like Boneworks, but they needed a way to make it work. So they started Bone Lab to get the story straight, and to make Boneworks and Bone Lab line up with the story being clear. They realized that B-side wasn't enough, so they made Bone Lab to bridge the gaps. All the ICE assets are still mostly in Bone Lab. As of patch 3, you could still find them in the game files. So it seems they started to work on B-side, then stopped to make a bridge in the gaps. That would explain why Bone Lab's story feels completely different from Boneworks. It's telling the story of Stress Level 0, the Fantasyland devs, instead of Stress Level 0, the real devs, which they may be the main characters of B-side. To finish this video off, I'm going to give you a quick thought in your head. Project 4 was announced September 25th, 2019, which we know is Bone Lab, but the B-side was meant to be Project 4, till they split it to make Bone Lab. Boneworks was released December 10th, 2019. So, do we think it's possible that they have already been in development of the B-side for a while? Well, no, Lycatraz disproved me. Thanks, Lycatraz. That was a joke. I mean, the announcement of Project 4 in 2019, and it's now 2024, soon to be 2025. They've already released Bone Lab. I don't know, man. I think they've been working on the B-side or preparing to work on the B-side for a while now. Bone Lab took 3 years to make, and Boneworks took about 3 years to make. So maybe we could see a new SLZ title within the next 2 to 3 years. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also hit that bell to get notified every time I upload. To help support me, you can go down to the link tree in the description where I have my Patreon page. You can also support me by buying some merchandise, also linked in the link tree. I also have a Twitter account where I post pretty regularly about Bone Lab, Boneworks, and any other SLZ matter, or just a funny matter in general. You can also check out the Discord, which is also in the link tree, and anything or anybody that helped out in today's video will be linked in the description. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I will see you in the next one.
Yo, I'm part